K1 recently released another album and it has amazing 90s R&B production. But what actually makes it so nostalgic? Let me show you how when you pair some beautiful strings with some catchy sign leads, it makes something beautiful like this. Let's actually run this back and listen to Back of the Club. I touch myself just thinking about you. First thing you notice is those infectious orchestra melodies and those Spanish guitar lines. And most importantly, that 90s feeling. But you can also hear this sound in the new song, Touch Myself. For this sample, I wanted to start with electric pianos and created this complex chord progression. So how did I come up with these? The entirety of the progression used those half-step notes, and that really gives it that soulful feel, using thick minor and major chords. And you can see I use a diminished and dominant 7th chord, which resolves back into that E minor, and it just gives it so much expression. Then I gave it some melody with these tiny riffs, which really gives it that soul. Then to add those little pads and accents, I kind of wanted to take inspiration from the video of the production of Back of the Club.
Literally took the pitch bend all the way to the left and just gradually.
So I used this on the pad and created pitch bending automation so it's bending the chords. Also add this little key melody on top. Then I went into another beat of mine and exported the drums to use as percussion. K1 likes to use melodies and drums that go together and have that stop-start motion. With this percussion, I just drowned it in reverb, EQ, and decimal. Then in that video, it also mentions using a Korg nylon guitar.
And that's a nylon guitar sound straight from the Korg.
And to create something similar, it's pretty simple. So I just followed the chords and add those little notes to add those little accents, and then just added those repeating notes. And this just made it feel a little bit more like it was played in live. Then I wanted to add those Spanish guitar accents. So I went to Splice and just layered multiple sounds, and I just ran these through a guitar rig and a Wolf compressor. Let's listen to the guitars just on their own. Before we move on, I want to shout out today's sponsor, DistroKid. If you're like me, sending out samples and collaborating with others, you can add all your collaborators, set the exact amount of splits, and everybody gets paid. You can also upload your music to all streaming platforms, and you keep 100% of what you earn. Hit the link down below and get 7% off your first year subscription. Next is the sign leads, and these are so important because they create that tension and emotion throughout the whole sample. First, I added this lead that I found on Splice, but I chopped it every 2 bars, and I just took out the guitars and had a new section so it wasn't overcrowded. Then I added this sign lead, but I like to set this pitch range to 1. And you see I use the pitch wheel to pitch shift the notes. And what works well for these leads is adding those little accent notes and little walk down melodies that you can actually keep out of scale. But now we want to finish that R&B emotion, and the strings are what complete this. I added this slow attacking violin to add that suspense. Then I paired it with these chords, then cellos and violos, which I layered together and panned either side. Then I added another violin, but this time with a little bit more melody. Then I just added like slide ups, tremolos, and trills. Then I just paired it with this violin from Splice. And let's listen to these on their own. Then for the end texture, I added this chime line and these chime textures. Then for the bass, I just want to keep it completely simple. Then lastly, to add to that stop and start motion, I added this chop of this vocal that I created.
Everyone's different, I couldn't figure.
Then I pitched it up, used Little Alter Boy and ran it for effect. And I added another vocal chop in the gaps and added tons of delay. Then KWN really loves to add bridges, and it just gives the song a whole new different tone. And this is something they always would do in old school R&B, but this time using different chords, using an F sharp diminished 7th, which goes into a D dominant 11. That just adds to that sad tension that resolves back into the E minor. Then I just added the pad with the new chords, new bass notes, and just changed the Triton guitar a little bit. Then for the strings, I can just completely change them up. As I was taking things out, I just wanted to add more to that lead melody. And when we play it together, it all sounds like this.